Welcome to the Kai and K Show. This is the D Mac and Kai portion of the Kai and K Show. Today we're going to talk a little college football. We're going to talk about Colorado being bowl eligible. We're going to talk about the rankings, the new rankings that came out, which made Colorado at the number 23 spot. And we're going to talk about who we think will make the playoffs and who probably won't. We'll be back after this little short intermission.
In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it.
Oh, that your virgin in Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. She's not into material, but she like it physical. Can't wait to download my digital. I'm drowning, I'm rushing. Girl, you got me crushing. Said I'm crushing.
Brother D Mac, how you doing today, man?
And I'm doing well, my brother. How you doing over there?
Oh man, like they say, same song, second verse.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
look here, man. We had an interesting weekend where some teams become eligible that hadn't been able to come eligible since 2016. We're talking about the Colorado Buffaloes. They seem to be the hot ticket right now, and Dion got them bowling. What you
He
think?
got him. Yeah, man. He got him. It took just call it a year. They had the first year last year. They had to get used to it, buy in. He had to get the kids to buy in, and all that stuff. And they did even last year, man. I think they lost like 4 games by like less than 6 points or something. So they was right there on the edge, even last year. But now they're winning those games that they was losing last year by those 3 points and whatnot. They're not losing those games, and moving to a new conference, all of that stuff. It all helped out, man, and he's bowl eligible and got some very winnable games down the stretch.
Very winnable games, man. And they on a bye week this week, so
Okay,
uh, people don't believe this, but you have to actually win your bye week too. You know what I mean? You can lose your bye week. Uh,
yeah, you got to get better. You got to get
you
better.
got to get better. You got to get healthy, and so they didn't win their bye week the last time because they came out a little flat and they lost to Kansas State. So
Right.
I think I think he's not going to give him the time that he gave him off last. And last time I think he gave him close to a week off, try to reset whatever. But they practicing now, bro. He ain't playing that stuff. Then he's like,
Yeah, last time, uh, guys was, even his sons and stuff was doing other stuff out of town, and people was leaving and all that. That ain't how the bye week gonna work, bro. You gotta practice, and you gotta get better. You gotta stay in the room. You gotta do all those little things when you get these bye weeks. Just you can't get out of rhythm. You can't get out of rhythm.
no, you can't. You really can't. And the game was it really wasn't no. I mean, they came out real strong. I mean, it wasn't even no question. They had a little lull
Right.
in the second half, but I never really thought that Cincinnati team ever had a chance of coming back in that game. Man, they were kind of just doing whatever they want to. And
Yeah, yeah, they controlled the game. They controlled the entire game as far as what I was seeing. And momentum always swings in a football game. I don't care who you're playing and whatnot. At some point, the other team's gonna do something, get an interception, recover a fumble or something, and the momentum's gonna switch a little bit. And you go through that 6-7 minutes where you don't score, and it's looking kind of fuzzy. Got to punt a few times and stuff like that. That's football, man.
that is. I think they took their foot off the gas a little bit too. Which this was actually, I'm gonna have to give the coaching staff. I'm gonna give Dion credit on this one. This was the best coaching game I've seen him coach since he was at Jackson State, man. This is like, I mean, now the execution could have been a little better in the second half, but as far as coaching and decision making, this was the best coaching job he did because they ran the football right.
Yeah,
And you can go away from it
mixed
just because they weren't as successful as they were in the first half. They still stuck with it to run some of
yeah,
that
they
clock.
mixed it up. It looked good. It wasn't, it wasn't the Shador show. It wasn't the Hunter show. Even though he balled out, the kid's gonna continue. Both of them gonna continue to ball out. But it's when it's in the flow of the game, it looks a lot better than it looks forced. So it didn't look forced.
I think they actually ran the ball 8 or 9 more times than they did, and they threw the ball. And the boys started out hot, 15 of 15, and he ended up, I think, 25 or 29 for 320 some yards. I mean, that the boys, he be out there throwing dimes, man.
Hey man, that I don't know if people know. It crossed over in social media at one point, but that kid's been working out with Tom Brady since he was in the 10th grade, and people don't know that. Dion,
It makes sense because he
made that happen. He's like, if you want to be the best, you got to learn from the best. So he's been working with that kid since he was 15 years old, and you can see. I mean, obviously he's got way more athletic ability than Tom, but you can see those accuracy throws.
Mhm.
Like you said, just throwing dimes, and he's not off. And I think these last few games, he ain't had more than 10 completions, each game and stuff. So he's on target, man.
Yeah, his decision making was on fire that game, man. And uh, and boy, so tell me this, because and I knew what it was when it happened, or why it would happen. But tell me what you thought about when Horn caught the ball and hit him with the piece or the deuces, and just for a brief second, he just let him know, and they called the touchdown back. Now I don't think I've ever seen them call a touchdown back or throw the flag on just the now, bro. I played in games where I actually pointed at people while I was running down the field with the ball and the damn flag. So I'm trying to figure out how this get you, the flag.
You
I mean,
know,
your perception of
oh,
that.
my perception is that the again, you're in a new conference.
Hmm.
You starting the ball, you're playing good, and you might win that conference.
Hmm.
And uh, I think the referees are still looking at them like they a Pac-12. That like they still kind of against them. You know what I mean? And this Dion squad, they looked at it as the flash, the flash and the glitter and all of that, and these refs don't be, back when we played, we could clown a little bit. We didn't get
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
mean,
get
yeah,
these.
it was just all. It was all in fun. It wasn't like he gave him the finger. He gave him the deuce.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right.
just a quick little
He
deuces,
just
like I'm out.
gave him the
You
deuces,
know what I
like
mean?
I'm out.
I'm
You're
out.
not
Yeah,
you're not getting ready to catch me. You're not getting close. We're good,
right.
and I'm out. You know, um, it's funny. I coach in the Snoop League, right?
Okay.
And Snoop allows the celebration, and I love it.
Right.
Um, they can get it. They can get it in as long as they don't do certain things that
Yeah. Yeah, they pulling out the gun and like they spraying you with
Right,
the
right. As long as they don't do that kind of stuff, man,
AK-47
they
type of
can.
stuff. Yeah.
These kids be partying in the end zone, man. It's beautiful though because you scored a touchdown, man. Be happy, that hand the ball to the ref and all that. It's if that's your way, then that's your way. But
Hey, things sure did
that
change from when we was growing up. I tell you, you couldn't do none of that.
oh man, oh man, what started all that, man. I will take it back somewhere in the I want to say early 90s, maybe 94, 95. Miami Hurricanes, they used to clown for catching a first down, you know what I'm saying? And they was taunting people all game long. And I think the NCAA really tightened up on it right then and just kind of took the fun, took the celebration out of the game. I could see, because even in the pros, they get a first down, they
Hey,
point
hey,
first down.
that's my other thing. That's my other thing too. I think Michael Irvin was one first ones back in what '89 to start doing that type of stuff. And
Oh yeah,
uh,
Randall Hill and all them dudes followed up, and
it seemed like every but shit. Here's my thing though. I don't mind the celebration. I really don't. It's cool. I mean,
no,
but everything don't need to be no celebration. You make a tackle. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm
that's your
saying?
job.
You make a
Your
sack.
job.
That's what you're supposed
Yeah,
to. You know what I mean? I mean, everything don't require you to
right.
get your
Puffing your chest out.
yeah.
There's
You
no need to puff
got
your
it.
chest out for making a tackle 12 yards down the field.
Yeah, everything.
Guess
Every,
what? You gave up a first down already.
bro, everything is a celebration. Every time a person make a play now, it's a celebration. But that's the new game or whatever, and that's the way in the direction
And,
that it's going. So that's
and
why I
that's
was really
that's the crazy part, though. That's the crazy part in what you're saying. If they celebrating after doing that stuff and not getting flagged, why would this kid get flagged for that?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like.
What's
Come
the
on,
point?
bro.
Yeah.
But
What's the
here's the
point in
thing:
that?
if you're gonna call a game, call it both ways though, too, because
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
pick that pass interference was no pass interference, bro. I don't know if you
No.
pressing hot. That was a
Yeah.
beautiful play he made
Yeah.
on that ball. But then you don't
Yeah.
call it when Will in the end zone and dude damn near tackling him all in his lap when he falling down to the. I'm like, come on, bro, you got to call it both ways if you're gonna do that. Same ref
You
too, right?
do. Yeah.
Same ref.
Yeah. So maybe he was just on one that day. He wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, maybe
And
the deuces
that's
got him pissed off from the get go, so he was like,
right. Right. It was on after that. He was like, anything y'all do, we gonna throw this. I'm gonna pull this flag out my pocket here. But
so they had a little. They talked a little bit in the press conference by uh of course, Travis is back in that Heisman conversation because he had a hell of a day, right?
absolutely.
9 catches,
Absolutely.
143, two tuds, four PBUs, should have had a pick. Um, and first guy to be offense and defensive player of the week. That's unheard of, huh?
That's wild.
Week. Is that crazy or what?
That's absolutely wild. Even the two-way players, the Woodsons and all of that did that stuff back in the day. They never
Nope.
both sides. You get player of the week, both sides of the ball in the conference. Come on, man.
That's outstanding.
Come on. That's unreal. Like you put on the screen. That's unreal.
Right. So tell me why you think Shador Sanders is not in the Heisman conversation. They did a rating on ESPN. They didn't even have him in the top 10. What do you think? And look after,
Simply because
huh?
simply because they're not willing to put two teammates in there. That's bottom line. They ain't willing. They're not willing. And because them guys got, Colorado on their chest and
There
not
you go. Now that's what I think it is.
not
That's what I
Bama,
think
not
it is.
Ohio State, not, whatever, because these guys are in Colorado, and playing for Dion. You know what I mean?
Because they did it
It's,
with
it's
they did it with
curve.
Liner and Bush. They did it with Liner and Bush,
They
right?
did. You know it. You're absolutely right on that.
Yep.
You're
And
absolutely
then I
right on
think
that. But they not.
also Tua at Alabama, him and Smith, wide receiver. I think they both was
Him
there
and
too, right?
Smith.
Weren't they both in the conversation then?
I think so. I think
Mhm.
you're right.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Shador's numbers speak for themselves.
Speak for itself.
So
They went in, and you can't tell me you think what's his name, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller,
come on,
Will Howard, Jalen Milrow is all better than Shador at this point.
none of them.
Knock it off.
None of them. No.
Knock it
The
off, bro.
only one even halfway competing with Shador is Ward from Miami. To me,
Yeah.
that's it.
But
That's
so
it.
so,
And
so
they both balling out.
yeah, the latest poll is uh, Dylan Gabriel from Oregon because he's undefeated. I understand
And
that.
he's winning, yeah, because he's winning.
Yeah, Cam Ward at 2. They got Travis at 3.
Mm.
They got Genty at 4. Yeah, I think I got
Wow.
Genty at 4, and then all those guys I just ran off come fall in behind them, and Shador not even in the top 10. I think that's ridiculous, but
I
whatever.
think I think so too. But in the end, I think all Shador care about is getting drafted above them all. So
Yeah, he already he expressed as much. He just like he think Trav is the best player in college football and he should get it anyway. So
yeah.
he said even if Trav, long as Trav get it, he'll feel like he had a part of it
Oh,
anyway.
no doubt. He the one got to give him the ball. He the one got
Absolutely.
to give him the ball. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna do a little. Let me see here. I'm we're gonna take a little small little intermission and then we'll come back to something else. We'll talk about the top uh the top team, the new top 25 because Colorado's finally cracked the top 25
Sounds good.
and because they all chasing.
In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it.
Oh, that Givenchy and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. And if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. She's not into material, but she like it physical. Can't wait to download my digital. I'm drowning, I'm rushing. Girl, you got me crushing. Said I'm crushing, I'm crushing, I'm crushing. You're the cream in my coffee. I wanna stir it up. At 4 in the morning,
Like Coach James used to tell us back in the day, you win your games, all that stuff fall into place. Just keep winning.
Yeah,
Just keep
yeah,
winning.
I get that. I'm just like, man, I'm like, dang, they
It's
just.
disrespect.
I mean, I would have thought Ohio State would have dropped because it looked like they should have lost that game to Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? And
They
Indiana.
should have.
Mhm.
The kid throws a bad pass. I saw that. I was watching the end of that game, man, and he couldn't have threw a worse pass. It was absolutely horrible. He threw it right to the guy. It was bad. I felt bad for him, but you got to make plays, man. You the guy. You the guy.
Yeah, I mean that's what they say they brought him in there for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, they should have lost that game. But you know how when you're those teams, that Ohio State, that Michigan, that Bama, that Georgia, you know, um, you get that benefit of the doubt. Oh, just off today. They were just a little off today. You know, everybody else lose and they drop 6, 7 spots at a time. You know,
Hmm.
uh, those teams lose, they drop 3 or 4.
I,
So
I thought Vanderbilt had a real good shot of beating Texas too. This is another team I thought should have fell down because man had Vanderbilt to coach that game a little better and not went for it on that fourth down on their own 40-yard line or some 45-yard line and just punted the ball. It's 5 minutes in the game, bro. You only down by a touchdown.
right.
You know,
Well,
the game
let's just
got
face.
Why you don't punt and play
let's
field?
let's face the facts. Let's face the facts. SEC teams don't get dropped for playing bad unless they lose. That's it. They
There.
don't drop just because everybody comes hard to play them, and as long as they won, they're good. That's
Yeah.
you know, it's the
I was
way
disappointed. I was
it's
disappointed in that
going.
Vanderbilt coach. I thought that was the first game I saw him in the last 3-4 weeks. Coach, I mean, situate hit. That's just bad. It's a little bit over
Yeah.
5 minutes to go in the game. You got 2 timeouts. You on your own 40. It's 4th and 2, right? Your defense only gave up 3 points the whole second half. Punt the
Mm-hmm.
ball, play field position. You're going to get the ball back. You got two timeouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your defense is playing, and you're only down by
Right.
6.
Go
So
for it and
you go
boom.
for it. Now you're
Got it.
down by 10 because you don't get it, and you're on your side of the 50, right? They kick a field
Yeah.
goal, and then you wind up even scoring a touchdown. So what you do? You lose by that 3 because you didn't you didn't punt the ball.
You didn't put that ball because you didn't put that ball in play field position football. You
Stuff ain't
know,
hard.
I think what happens is some of these coaches they take that attitude like we got nothing to lose. Nobody expected us to win anyway. We're just in the game. We're in the game, so let's just whatever. Instead of just hey, I'm gonna play this like it's my rival game and not oh we not supposed to beat them anyway, so let's just go for it. No man, you got them right. We want them. Coach
Stay in it.
that game
Stay
like
in it. Stay in it.
like I got this. The opponent shouldn't make you differentiate how you coach that game.
It's a shame your kids play that hard. They ain't. Can you imagine beating Alabama, Kentucky, and Texas in the span of 4 weeks or whatever? You understand what I'm saying?
Man,
Can you imagine that?
yeah, man. I
That would have
can't.
been
And they
awesome, though. That'd have been awesome. You know what I'm saying? And you the number
yeah,
25
yeah.
bro.
Talking about getting some recruits and all of that,
They had their shot though, but they blew it. So anyway, so you
Yeah.
think so I'm gonna run off a couple. We're gonna run off some of these teams. You tell me what you think they're gonna fall. You tell me you think they're gonna make the playoffs or not. So we're gonna start with Ohio State. What do you think personally? You think they still got who Ohio State got to play next? They got Ohio State. Ohio State still has Penn State and Indiana on their schedule.
Two
And
tough games.
they already lost to Oregon.
They gotta go to Penn State this week, right? Or something like that.
Let me see. I believe so. Let me find out.
Somebody goes to Penn State, I believe. Tough place to play. If that's where they gotta go, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. But it's funny. History. What history says is that's the game that they pull off, and put themselves back up there. And Penn, like we've been talking, Penn State always drops one. When least expected type of stuff.
Yeah. So they're they're at Penn State. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. If they're gonna lose one, it's gonna be this week. If they lose another one, that second one is gonna be this week.
And then they still got to play Indiana. I think that's going to be a tough game too, especially if they get their quarterback back.
Right. Where's Ohio State ranked right now?
4.
Oh yeah. So you know what? Even if they lose, they still gonna be at 10. If they drop down, and then if they win out, but Indiana's playing some great football, man.
They undefeated too,
So,
and they're still where they at?
15,
13.
10,
13.
13. They still on the outside looking in, right?
Right.
So those teams again, they sit them right there on the edge. So if they lose, boom, they're out of there. Because they don't bring the sexy to the game.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got Texas. Well, tell me what you think. Texas, you think gonna make it? They still got Texas A&M and Arkansas to play. They got to go to Arkansas and they got to go to Texas A&M.
No, I think Sark got them boys on fire, man. I think they're going to the playoff. I definitely do, and I think they're gonna make a little noise in there too. I don't know if they're gonna get all the way, to the finals, but I think they're gonna make some noise in this playoff. I think they're gonna win both of those games.
Okay. We got Georgia, who still has to play Ole Miss and Tennessee, and remember they lost to Alabama, and they need Alabama to beat LSU because LSU only has one loss.
Right, right, right. Well, Georgia, Georgia seems to turn up that D when it's time.
Mhm.
Um, their loss, it might be the one off, but that quarterback play is a little bit inconsistent. So will they make playoff? Will they be in the top 12? Yeah, yeah. It,
How many,
but
how many,
but
how many SEC teams do you think gonna get in? Though?
for
You think they're gonna put four in?
what's the top 12 look like right now? How many of them in there?
Uh, you got
Remember,
Texas.
Texas is SEC.
You're right, right. I got Texas, Tennessee,
Yep,
Georgia,
yep.
Texas A&M, and
So you know what? With that said, three. Because I don't, I think Tennessee can drop another one, and Texas A&M gonna drop one to Texas. So I think Georgia. It might only be just the two. It might just be Texas and Georgia at the end of it.
the only team that's undefeated in that conference is Texas A&M.
Yeah, yeah.
They only losses to
It's,
Notre Dame.
okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be that's gonna be interesting down the stretch because they all got to play each other. You know,
Hmm.
they all got to play each other. Alabama, and Tennessee this week, right?
Yeah. No. Alabama got a
Yeah.
bye. They got a
Okay.
bye, and then they
I
play
know they got
LSU.
Tennessee. Oh, they
And
play LSU coming up.
they play LSU.
Yeah,
That's the game they got.
tough
They got
game, man.
that's the only toughest game they got left is LSU.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Mercer
tough.
and some other little crap, and some other little
Yeah.
Mississippi
So
State.
it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what who's going to be in the SEC championship, obviously.
Hmm.
Uh, but to me, whoever makes the SEC championship, they both going, and then I think they might sprinkle one other one in there.
Okay, so
So
but
I
this is interesting then. So, do you think it's best to make the SEC and play for the SEC championship, or be one of the teams on the outside and potentially get the at-large bid because they're used, like you said, they're going to be three, and you potentially get a bye week because you're going to have that championship week off, and then you'll come in.
the
So,
See, in the past, the only team that they've let that happen when just a 4 team or whatever. The only team they let do that was Bama, and I don't think nobody's getting that favor. Getting that favor. You got to okay, and the Tennessees and the A&Ms,
mhm.
they got to get in that game to be in
Okay,
that playoff,
okay.
right? Georgia and Texas, you know, with Georgia and Texas with one loss and they don't go to the championship, they're still in
Hmm.
because they still gonna be in the top 12. Them other two teams, if they lose a game, they're dropping out
So,
because Tennessee got a loss already. So they lose one more, they're gone.
they all got losses. Georgia got lost too.
Yeah, but they rank number
Georgia and
two.
Tennessee going. So Georgia and Tennessee when they play, that's going to be to decide probably who either going to
Yeah,
get that last spot because
yep.
Alabama. That's if Alabama went out.
That's if Alabama went out.
Georgia needs
Yeah,
Alabama to win out in order to get in, and if they lose one,
if
one
they
more.
lose one. Yeah,
Mhm.
because even stretching this thing to 12, man. It,
It's got to go to 16 though. It's no way
two
to get
losses.
this 12 stuff.
I'm just saying, two losses is a lot to say that you in this playoff, man. It's some good teams out there, like you said. You
Yeah.
got your Pitt, you got uh uh
BYU, Iowa State,
Yeah,
Army.
yeah,
Army still undefeated.
got some good
Indiana
teams in there,
undefeated.
man.
Indiana undefeated.
That should be getting that draw. You know, and you know what? I'm telling you, um if Army wins out, there's no way the NCAA can turn down the armed forces. They
No, they
can't
can't.
turn that down.
No, especially
They got to put them in there.
If they beat Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying?
They beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
beat
if
Notre
they beat
Dame and
Notre
win
Dame,
out, you got to put them in. So, do they take Boise State place?
I think they would.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
they would.
Okay.
Boise State got one loss.
Boise State got one loss. They only losses to Oregon.
Oregon, right? Again, I mean, they went out. They got to go. You only lost to the number one team in the nation.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, yeah, man. It's gonna be, and you know the actual BCS or whatever comes out, I think next week.
Mhm.
So it'll really be interesting to see because you know the BCS formula will be shaking up stuff, man. You be number 2 and BCS come out you number 5. You know, all of a sudden now you got to play. So
All right. So
college football is always mixed up with that. But go ahead.
So you got 3, maybe 4 teams get in from SEC. So how many from the Big Ten? We got Oregon,
Oregon, Ohio State, and you like you say, you got the potential of Indiana, but they got some tough games down the stretch.
Penn State.
Penn State got some tough games down the stretch as well.
Mm-hmm.
So 2, maybe 3.
All right, so that's 6 or 7, or potentially
Right.
That's 10, bro.
Right. It's thin, man. It's thin because that's the way they want it. So you got your ACC champion who's going to be. You're looking at Pitt or Miami, right?
Or Clemson,
or Clemson, and they
Clemson
all in the
undefeated.
mix.
Yeah, Clemson undefeated too.
So if they got again, they all a one loss team, ACC. The champion and a one loss ACC team can get in. Definitely.
Thing about it, they don't play each other. Miami and Clemson don't play each other.
No, they don't. I don't think.
No, they don't play each other. I don't think they play each other. Clemson has to play Pitt and Louisville. I think they still got Louisville and Pitt left on a
Louisville's playing hard too.
Yeah.
Louisville's playing hard and tough against everyone, you know. So yeah, that again, man, college football is crazy. It's interesting, man. You know, you got to play these games, and we only 8 games in. Everybody got to play 12, damn near 13 games.
I tell you what, if Colorado run the table in 10-2, they're gonna put them in. That's too much.
They got to because there'll be
too much money involved.
Because they're the champ of the Power 5, they got to go. Yeah. It's automatic. So they control their own destiny. Them Iowa State, they control their own destiny.
Well, I'm thinking even if they don't play for the championship, I think they put them in at 10-2 because Iowa and BYU is undefeated, and they can actually end the season undefeated because they don't play each other.
Man, so we're gonna mark that one. We're gonna put a pin in that one right there. Yeah. You see them put them in, and I see the snub.
Yeah, no, I think they make too much money, man. They the highest view. They got the highest viewership in all of college football. So
no doubt,
money talks. Like you said, putting asses in the seat always jump everything else. You know,
true that.
Yeah,
true that.
Yeah,
they do travel well and all that, but you know that's why Notre Dame is going to be in the playoff. So mark their spot, and that's the way it goes. Unless their loss is bad. The loss that they lost is bad, but they beat everyone else. They still got to play SC and
they gotta play SC. Don't forget SC. That last game of the season, bro.
They still play SC.
That's could be. I think SC will get them. I think SC gonna get them myself.
That could get real interesting because SC plays fast, and Notre Dame don't like fast.
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay, and we got just one last thing we're gonna touch on. Michigan. They quarterback Tittle retired. I guess concussions or something, whatever. So, and he was probably the
Yeah.
best thing they had, beside that them other two guys that they was putting in there to the walk on, and the other cat. But anyways,
Right.
so I hate to see what's gonna happen with that team. I mean, man, I feel bad for the
Yeah.
brother to succeed, but he might be out of here after this year, bro. I don't know.
You know, first year, man, I think they're giving one. You know, they'll give him another one. I think, unless they got somebody they're looking at, who's a sexy hire or whatever. But you got to give that man a chance to get his style of player in here and see what happens. They like I was saying before, it's a rebuild year for them. It's a rebuild for SC. It's a rebuild for Washington. It's a rebuild. You had, the three Heisman Trophy candidates was quarterbacking them three teams.
Right.
Right. And they were the leader of those teams. And they all left, and their weapons left with them. So just tough. I think I'll give him 1 more year.
Yeah, well, I hope so, man. I hate to see the brother lose his job after 1 year after Harbaugh ran out the back door on him.
Ran out the back door before they got
Yeah, after he left him with all these sanctioning problems and all this other stuff.
Right.
And escaped out the back door on him. But, so at least give that brother another shot to, get
let him see what he can do 1 more year.
He's gonna have to definitely go to that portal and find him a quarterback or something, because
you got to get somebody that wants to come to Michigan to play some ball.
That's what's really killing them. But anyways, okay, brothers. It was we gonna wrap this one up because we got the baseball game on. Dodgers is
Yes,
up
sir.
2-1.
They 2-1.
Closeout game.
Yep.
Closeout game.
Yankees are hitting tonight though. They get some hits tonight. So
hey man, they don't want to come all the way back to LA just to take a trip back home for 1 day, man.
It's one more game in Yankee Stadium because they go 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They go 2-2 in the World Series. So they gonna lose it at home. It's just a matter of which game. That's all.
That's true. All right, people, y'all comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please hit the like button. Leave us a comment. Give us some topics that you want us to talk on. If you think there's something that you think we should speak on, we don't have a problem with it. I'll be researching that. But until next time, Brother D Mac, I'll holler at you.
All right, my brother. I'll see you next time.
All right, peace.